Hi everyone. Today I'll be talking about Truett Cathy, the founder of Chick-fil-A, and how he showed emotionally intelligent leadership throughout his career. I chose Cathy because his leadership connects closely to dignity and emotional intelligence, two ideas explained in the books Leading with Dignity and Primal Leadership. Cathy is someone who really lived by his values. He didn't just run a business, he cared about people. He showed what's called servant leadership, where you put others first. He also used emotional intelligence, which is about understanding your own feelings and the feelings of others. And Goleman in Primal Leadership explains that leaders who do this are more effectively because they inspire trust and teamwork. And Cathy is a strong example of that. Some background information on Truett Cathy is that he was born in 1921 in Georgia. He grew up during the Great Depression, so he knew the value of hard work and making most of what little you had. In 1948, after serving in the Army during World War II, he opened a small diner with his brother called the Dorf Grill. This little restaurant became a testing ground for his famous chicken sandwich. What made Cathy stand out wasn't just the food, but how he built his company around service, faith, and family. Service meant making every customer feel respected and cared for. Faith showed up in his decision to close on Sundays, which was a bold move with the restaurant world. And then with family, he was central. He treated his employees like they were part of his own family, supporting them beyond just their jobs. And Hicks, leading with dignity, reminds us that when people feel respected and included in a community, they give back with loyalty and trust. And that's exactly what happened at Chick-fil-A. Cathy's leadership fits well into the emotional intelligence framework that Goleman describes in Primal Leadership. This framework includes self-awareness, self-awareness, and relationship management. These skills explain how leaders understand themselves, manage their behavior, recognize others' emotions, and build strong relationships. Cathy demonstrates all four throughout his career. Cathy was very self-aware. He knew his strengths were vision and values, and he also knew his limits. He stayed authentic in his decisions, like closing on Sundays, even though many people thought it was a mistake. That confidence and consistency built trust with his followers. And Goleman says in Primal Leadership that self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence, and Cathy lived that out. For self-management, Cathy stayed disciplined and calm even when facing tough choices. For example, staying closed on Sundays was a big financial sacrifice, but it showed his ability to manage a short-term loss for long-term values. Hicks explains in Leading with Dignity that leaders earn respect when they act in line with their values, and Cathy's choices proved that he wasn't just about profits, he was about principles. Cathy's empathy showed up in many practical ways. For example, he started the Chick-fil-A Leadership Scholarship Program in 1973, which has given over $100 million in scholarships to team members since then. He believed that helping young people pursue education was a way of investing not just in the company, but in their futures. He also created foster homes for children in need through the Wind Shape Foundation, showing that his care extended far beyond in business. And Goleman in Principal Leadership says leaders who use empathy build trust and long-term connections because people know they are understood and cared for. Cathy's empathy didn't just stop at words, it became action, and that made his leadership last well beyond his lifetime. For relationship management, Cathy built a culture where customer service wasn't just about food, but about making people feel welcome. Many employees built lifelong careers with Chick-fil-A because they felt appreciated. He also empowered leaders within the company by trusting them and giving them opportunities to grow. This reflects what Goleman describes in Primal Leadership as inspiring and motivating others to achieve a shared mission. The results of Cathy's leadership speak for themselves, as Chick-fil-A is one of the most profitable fast food chains in the country. Even while being closed one day a week, customers know the brand for excellent service, and employees feel engaged and respected. Hicks points out in Leading with Dignity that dignity is not just a moral idea, it leads to real results. because people give their best when they feel valued. Cathy did face criticism. Some people disagreed with the role his faith played in the company's culture, and there were times the business faced pushback. But Cathy remained steady in his values, and Goldman reminds us in Primal Leadership that emotionally intelligent leaders don't run from conflict, they manage it with integrity and focus on the long term. Cathy's consistency helped him hold on to the trust of his followers even during challenges. There are a few big lessons we can take from Cathy's leadership. First, lead with your values, even if it's hard. Second, care for people, not just the numbers. And finally, emotional intelligence is not just a soft skill. It's key to long-term success. And Hicks says in Leading with Dignity that dignity is the pathway to unlocking people's potential. Cathy's life shows this in action, and I've seen it myself while working at Chick-fil-A, where the culture of care is still alive today. To wrap up, Truett Cathy was more than just a businessman. He was a leader who lived by service, faith, and family, and he showed how emotional intelligence and dignity can shape a company's culture and success. Thank you.